Yes, people, welcome back to BBK Sports. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for making time to tune into BBK Sports. Now, people, my guest today, he has probably forgotten more about football than we will ever know. Right? He's an absolute football savant, an Arsenal encyclopedia. You can catch him on Lee Gunner's channel. You can catch him on Dan Potts' channel. You can catch him on Shane with Jez. You can catch him on Aaron Talks Football. But you can also catch him on his own channel. The man who famously once said, "You cannot make progress with excuses." Ladies and gentlemen, DJB is here.
Big up, brothers.
What you saying to me, DJ? How are you, my friend?
Yeah, all good, BBK. It's an honour to be on here and sharing the screen with you and the chat, obviously. Yeah, really looking forward to it, my friend. Really looking forward to it. We've had the international break. So, yeah, it's a funny time of year because it kind of it's that kind of time of year, isn't it? With the international break, it breaks up the kind of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Motion of the Premiership. But yeah, all good. But the world of Arsenal just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning, no matter what. But yeah, it's an honour to be here, my friend, and big up to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Now, speaking of the international break, did you catch the England boys and our boys in their performance in the England squad?
Yeah, I watched the highlights. I didn't watch it fully because I was busy, but I saw the highlights, and it's just the same old. I've not really been excited with England football for many years. The last time I really got excited with the English football was like Euros '96. That's going back a few years.
Yeah.
Since then, I'm kind of been going through the motions with them. It's been sort of pretty much tepid, if you like.
Yeah.
And that game the other night, I mean, just tells you all you need to know. I think Harry Kane had about 18 touches, and the back four and the defence had sort of over 200, 300 touches of the ball. So that tells you everything you need to know. And this is against a really low-ranked team. It's just sideways and backwards, but that's the way football is nowadays. It's patient, slow. And I think we've just got to get our head around things the way it's going. It's very
yeah. So speaking of the
hard watching.
Yeah. So speaking of the football, after a underwhelming performance, right, and a disappointing result, do you expect anything different from the boys when we get back to the Emirates on Saturday early kickoff against Forest?
Do you know what I'm expecting? I'm expecting a performance. I'm expecting this team to come out and this manager to come out and go, right, you know, we've taken a lot of stick with the way we lined up against Liverpool. The performance against Liverpool was pretty dull. So I'm looking for an absolute top level performance. I'm looking that these players are going to come out. The manager's going to change a few things up, get on the front foot, get attacking early, get an early goal, settle into the game and really take the game to them. My problem is, BBK, is that this manager has proven on many occasions that when you need a big performance and when you need a lift, it doesn't come. It really doesn't come. And I can see us playing a very cautiously, because Forest are dangerous on the counter-attack. You know, they've got players that can hurt you on the counter-attack, especially if, you know, the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White's very pacey in midfield. He likes to get beyond the midfield and get into the final third. And Forest can exploit that quite dangerously. So the manager will be cautious of the way Forest attack. And that's why I don't think you're going to see too many changes. He has to play Eze. I think he's got to play Eze. Whether he will or not is another thing. But yeah, it will be slow build up. It won't be full on. Again, you're going to have to be patient, and it's just going to be pretty much the same.
Surely he has to play Eze. Surely, like if is he really gonna traumatize us with another lineup? Because here's the thing: now the Forest lineup release now becomes a spectacle now, because now everyone an hour before the game will be looking at I want to see if he's really going to not have a goal at home versus Forest. Like, this is what happens. Like, we're being traumatized by lineups now, because this is crazy to me. And I had a discussion with some of the people who were upset at me for being upset during the transfer window when we weren't getting the signings in on time, right? But then those same people said to me they understand why Eze didn't start, because he only had one training session. So I'm like, you can't be serious, because now you understand why I wanted Eze here, because now you're using the training session as an excuse why he didn't play. So this is why I was upset that we waited until the season started to get the guy in that we needed. But they're saying, I understand it. No, you don't understand, because you would have been on my side saying Eze should have been with us in Singapore versus playing a Community Shield where he could have got hurt in, a game against Chelsea that he could have got injured in, and then agreeing to personal terms with Tottenham in the 11th hour. But now I understand why he didn't play, because he only had one training session. Part of that is even twofold, because if our attack is that complicated, where a player who's 27 years old needs 4 or 5 training sessions to get it right, then something is wrong. You need to simplify how you play football, isn't it?
Spot on, mate. Spot on. I mean, with the Eze thing, he was ready to go. He was prime ready to go. He was probably ahead of most of our players that played against Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a brother that's won an FA Cup, Community Shield. He's played for Palace before he joined Arsenal. So he's up and running. He was all ready to go. I mean, he's on such a high at the moment. When you think FA Cup, Community Shield, and he's signed for his boyhood club, this guy is absolutely on cloud 9. And he goes to Anfield and he gets benched. And when the cameras panned onto his face, that told you everything you need to know, how he was feeling.
Yeah.
Deflated and everything. But the thing is, right, I haven't got a problem with initially setting up cautious. That to me, that to me wasn't the problem. The problem I had is when Liverpool weren't really hurting us. I'm thinking, right, come out in the second half, and I was expecting changes. So I was expecting, when those players come out on the field of play, I was expecting balls to go up before the second half kicked off. And Eze coming on, Odegaard coming on, and it all being changed up. But when they came out the second half and the team hadn't changed, I'm thinking like, what is going on here? Because, to play the whole game pretty much like that, and then he brings on Dowman and he keeps Wanyeri on the bench. He could have gone for that far, far earlier during the game than what he did. And the problem I've got with it is that he doesn't take any accountability for it. If he'd have come out and said, look, I got it wrong, I should have done this, I should have done that, you may have that little bit more respect for him. But the fact that he's saying, this is the way we set up, and Mourinho does this, and then all the excuses were coming out, I'm thinking he's not learning. He's just not learning. He's just not learning. He's still set in his ways, and it's really frustrating. Really frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. And big up to 22 of you locked in. Big up to Static. Big up to Oregon Goon. Big up to AJ, Wahaha, all of you legends that are locked in. Make sure that you are subscribed to DJB. I think most of you are anyway. But what's interesting what you said there about halftime, that alarm bells went off for me when he didn't make subs at halftime, because he had already wasted a substitution window in the 3rd minute. So now you can only stop the game twice. So when halftime came out and he did make a sub, I came to terms with the idea that, okay, he's playing for a draw. And that's when I really started fuming on top of the fuming that I was doing based on the lineup. Surely, DJ, the players can't be enjoying playing this way.
I think what they're doing, they're just going through. I personally think they're just going through the motions. I think they're set in their way. They're just going through the motions. And I think what they're trying to do, they're just trying to make things happen. They're kind of hoping that things will change during the game. There's no one out there really going, do you know what? Blow this. I'm not playing this way. And taking the sort of ball by the horns and actually really going for it. They're still rigid. They're still predictable. And I think they're just waiting for what the opposition do before they react. Because when Liverpool scored, then you got some sort of reaction, but then it's too late. You know, that reaction should have been before that goal went in. And I know people said, oh, it was a wonder goal that beat us. But when you're playing for a draw and you're playing cautious like that, you're always open for a counter-attack, a penalty decision, a free kick, a set piece. You're always leaving yourself open for that vulnerability. That's why you've got to set the bar and set the initiative. And I think with our players, they're just set in their ways now. You know, if you watch us set up, we're just setting our ways the way we play. And I've said this time and time again, you get into Odegaard early, you shut down Saka, or Madueke in this case. You shut Saka down when he's fit. You get into Odegaard early, 2 banks of 4 in front of our midfield and our attack. Hit diagonals, hit us on the counter, because that's what Forest will be doing the weekend. They'll be looking at that diagonal ball. They'll be looking at long balls into space, and they'll be looking to run on and beyond our defenders. And that's what they'll be looking for. And if it comes off, because the more the game goes on, if we don't get early goal and the more the game goes on, the crowd will get restless.
Right.
And, you know, you can see dangers. And it's worrying. But, Gyökeres looks poor. And that's no disrespect to Gyökeres, because he's not poor. He's a quality forward. But in this system, he looks poor because there's no creativity. None at all. Absolutely none.
Yeah, it's spot on, you know. And the more I think about it, and that, like, if I were to ask you, like, what teams in the Premier League Eze doesn't start for? How many teams do you think you could list?
I can't think of many.
Right.
Liverpool, he might not start. Especially with the signing of Isak now. But then, you know, they got Gakpo that's kind of in and out, so he could start on the left there. But I think starting Eze on the left is wrong for me. And I've been sort of misquoted on this by saying Eze is not a left winger. I'm not saying he's not a left winger. I've always said he's not as effective on the left. There's a big difference. He's more effective in a central role, in a 10 more central role than he is on the left. So for me, there's not many clubs Eze's not going to start. Right. Would he start for a City team? Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
Spurs, definitely. That's why they wanted to buy him. Chelsea, yeah, I would say he'd start in a Chelsea team. There's not many teams where Eze's not going to start. So how he's not playing him, I don't know. And then Marino goes and bags 3 goals for his national team last night. Don't be surprised if he don't put him in the starting 11 on Saturday.
So I've been literally fighting with fans over even just before I came on. There's this Red Pitch podcast, great guy, Cav, love him to death. But he and I have a lot of back and forth with this Marino thing, right? Because what they're trying to do, DJ, in my opinion, is that they're trying to rewrite history as if it was a tactical masterclass how Marino ended up front for us, when it was an emergency plan. He had no one else against Leicester. Trossard started up top that game. Jesus was injured. Saka was Havertz was hurt. Martinelli wasn't in the squad, and he literally had nothing else, and he threw him up there and he bagged the brace and it worked. And now they're saying, "Oh my God, that was a genius stroke by Art." I'm like, no, it wasn't. Like we're trying to rewrite history with this and trying to make him out to be this tactician, and it's just not true. And I'm seeing it starting to grow legs. Like, yeah, Marino had to. Because Spain actually play attacking football, right? They actually play differently, and there is a way. For example, Liverpool. Since we're on the topic of Liverpool, which upset us so much, when Jurgen Klopp was there, he never played with a 10. He played 3 central midfielders in Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and Henderson. But he got creativity from his fullbacks and from his wingers. We don't have that. We have Martinelli over there. So there is a situation that we have where you can get creativity without a number 10, but that's not us, you know. So we just agreed that Eze starts for most Premier League team, but wasn't good enough to start for us in a must-win game, which was a must-win game for me, because I think the energy around the fan base, and more importantly, the energy around the team would be much different knowing that we went to Anfield and win. Now they actually believe. The belief that the manager put in them on Sunday past was, I don't think we can beat these guys, so we're going to go out there and play for a draw. So I should be over that loss by now, but I'm not gonna. It still annoys me.
Trouble is, a loss when you can only. I mean, how many games can you realistically lose to win a Premier League title nowadays? You can't lose many.
That's a 3.
You can't lose many. You're only talking 3, maybe 4 games.
Yeah.
Well, that's 1 down already.
Mm-hmm.
That is 1 game down already. So, for me, the pressure's on straight away. If we'd have got something out of that game, going into the Forest game, we'd have been full of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Every game you lose, the next game is added pressure.
Yeah.
So the next game now against Nottingham Forest at home is added pressure because we didn't get a result at Anfield. It just builds up and builds up and builds up. And the players feel this, especially after coming back from an international break. They haven't really trained with their club. They haven't really trained and done things during the week. So this is a massive game now. Because if you slip up against Nottingham Forest or drop points at home against Nottingham Forest, you're suddenly taken 1 point from the last 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a team that's serious about winning the Premiership, you can't be you can't be going down that road at all. You can't be going down that road at all. And listen, no matter what team he picks, it should be good enough to win trophies. This team,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why Marino is flavour of the month with this manager is because most of the players that he has discovered in positions is by default and by injuries. Ben White was right back by default because of injury. You know, Marino was default because the lack of signing of a striker. We didn't have any strikers, so Marino was by default.
Yeah,
he wasn't like a masterclass where we thought, oh, do you know what? I think that Marino can play up front. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to try him as our forward.
Yeah.
Because why would we have signed Gyökeres if he thinks Marino is this prolific goal scorer
mm-hmm.
and Havertz? Why have we signed Gyökeres?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to say, and yeah, it's a difficult one for me. But you can't lose many games if you're going to win the Premiership. I think 4 max is probably about nowadays, because you're looking at sort of 85, 86 plus points now to win the Premier League. So you've got to be pretty flawless.
Yeah.
You've got to be pretty flawless. And I know it's Anfield and people are saying, yeah, but, you know, teams do lose at Anfield.
Yeah.
We had an opportunity there. We missed a big opportunity, massive opportunity, especially getting them early in the season when they're not fully functioning.
Yep. Because when they come to the Emirates, they will have Isak when they come to the Emirates, and they will have gelled and played a lot of football together by then. But speaking of injuries, the injuries to Saliba, big up AJ said, question, please, what do we do if Mosquera gets injured this month and we don't have Saliba, because then Ben White's finished and then Timber is not good at right center back? So, you know, what would be the recourse if we pick up another injury to Mosquera? What do you think?
If Mosquera gets injured?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a tough one because you got Ben White, he's not fully fit. Timber, again, to me, that's a time bomb. That's a ticking time bomb, Timber. Yeah. That is a ticking time bomb. People said to me about the transfer window, and I've been asked about Mosquera.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, when he come on against Liverpool, he looked okay. But I can't judge Mosquera after 1 game. I can't judge him after 1 game. If he gets injured, we're back again. What do we do? What do we do? Put Calafiori there, play Skelly left back. We got that Hinkapi or Hinkapi, you know, again, bought him to play left back. So it looks like he'll be the Nukes left back. He'll make his debut. But yeah, it's still worrying. I mean, defensively, I've never been too worried defensively with Arsenal. Defensively, I've not been too worried. It's that creativity in midfield and going forward in the final third. It seems to lack potency. It seems to slow down and it doesn't flow very well. That's the worrying thing for me. We can shut teams out.
Yeah.
But
so having said that, do you think he will play defensive against Man City at home in 2 weeks' time?
He'll play cautiously against them. Yeah, that won't be a 5-1. That won't be a 5-1. Pep's got to get back to square one. He's got to he knows he needs a big result. He's lost against Spurs. Lost against Brighton. They've spent a lot of money. He's going to look at the Emirates and think, if we can get a result at the Emirates, it could kickstart his season, really. It could then tell people, hang on a minute, we ain't going anywhere, we're here. And that's similar to what we should have done at Anfield.
Right.
We should have laid the marker down at Anfield and people, hang on a minute, this Arsenal team mean business. Now, City might come to the Emirates and think the same. They might think, well, hang on a minute, we've had a few bad results. If we can win this weekend, go to the Emirates and get 3 points, then suddenly that Brighton game and that Spurs game doesn't look that bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The thing is with City, if you leave yourself wide open, they'll punish you. So I don't think he'll go gung-ho against Man City. I think it'll be like a chess match. I think there'll be a lot of cancelling out. I don't think it'll be flowing. I don't think City will be as open as what they were last season. That game's going to be interesting. I've got that down as a draw, to be honest. I've got that down as a draw.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, and I didn't skip to City with any disrespect aimed towards Nottingham Forest, but I'm without looking past Nottingham Forest. I'm saying if after $1 billion spent, Nottingham Forest at home, I should not be thinking anything other than 3 points against Nottingham Forest. Right? Surely we have to professional performance, because with the injuries, it's very important, DJ, that we kill games off early, right? Because we see Burnley, Liverpool going to Turf Moor at the weekend. They're up 2-3-0. Salah's coming off, and he's resting and he's preserving, and then you can rotate the squad that way. But if it's 0-0 versus Nottingham Forest in the 78th minute, then we end up playing guys who are already in the red, Declan and these other guys in the red, playing them extended minutes, and then we will get these recurring injuries again. We all admit we cannot. This is the season of no excuses. Injuries, whatever. This season he must find a way. So it's very important that we start games strong and rotate the squad.
100%. But what I'm trying to say, if you keep putting in bad performances, they're the pressures that you're bringing on yourself. And this is what he's done over the years. He's brought his own pressure on by not getting over the line. Yeah. So what I said before, because we didn't win at Anfield, this Forest game now is going to be an absolute vital 3 points. This Forest game is probably more important now than the Liverpool game that's just gone.
Yeah. Because
if we slip up here with all that, as you said, with all that money spent, we're expected to do a job on Nottingham Forest. But the longer the game goes on, we can't then rotate the players. We go 3-0 up half time, 3-0 up when we're cruising. Yeah, you can bring off Declan Rice. You can make changes. You can start bringing on other players and rotating the squad a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be like that. I don't. And I know it sounds silly, but it's a 12:30 kickoff Saturday. Yeah, and if you look at the games Arsenal have played when they've kicked off at 12:30. I don't know what it is, but the crowd's all a little bit subdued. The atmosphere on them sort of 12:30 kickoffs, from my experience at the Emirates, is a bit flat. It's like the Sunday afternoon games as well, or the 2:00 Sunday games and things like that at the Emirates. They're all you get a different kind of crowd in there, and it's all a little bit flat. So. Listen, we should blow Forest away with ease, but listen, it's Arsenal, it's Arteta. You never know what you're going to get, and this is what frustrates me. I still can't go into any game with any real confidence. And I was hoping when we signed Eze and when we made these signings, I was thinking, right, okay, let's get into these games now with some real confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't, because the man rocks up with a performance like that against Liverpool, and straight away I'm put on the back foot again. I'm thinking, yo, I don't know what team's going to turn up here.
Yeah. You look at the team, and 1 through 11, we should have enough to deal with Forest. But then PTSD and the Arteta tax is real, and the tax was no more realer than what we saw at Anfield 2 Sundays ago. But this question from the assembled is what you kind of answered this earlier before I even saw the question. Where we set up the way that he does, where we will get those wonder goals will go against us from time to time.
100%. You set up like that, you're open to. You're open, especially with VAR now, because like a player goes into the box, goes down, penalty, anything could happen in a split second. So if you set up for a draw and you play for a draw, you've got to be absolute flawless in all levels of the pitch. You can't even do what Zubimendi done that gave away the free kick. None of that can happen. It's all got to be proper flawless football. Killing the game off, and you can't do that in this because when teams then start to accelerate and turn it on, you're open to all sorts.
Yeah, I hear you. How confident are you about the next 5?
It just depends on the results. I think it depends on the results. If we can put some results together, he may rotate a little bit, but. I don't think he's going to rotate very often, to be honest. I don't think Wanyeri's going to get many games in the next 5 games. I've said it from the start, and I'll keep saying it, and I'll probably bore the chat with it, but that's Emil Smith-Rowe Mark 2 for me, Wanyeri. So he's not going to rotate very much, Odegaard. Martinelli might come in and out the squad, and he'll put Eze on the left. I can see that happening. And someone said to me, if Havertz was fit, do you think he'll play instead of Gyökeres? And I think that would be a possibility. I still think he wants to try and get Havertz in the side once he's fit. Don't be surprised once Havertz is back that he'll get him into the team somehow. But I can't see him rotating much. I think he's going to play safe.
Wow.
He's been scarred, hasn't he? He's been scarred. He's thrown away an 8-point lead. He's been scarred. And since then, he's not really playing this flared football that we saw under him a few seasons back.
Yeah. The only way to get over that scar is to win a trophy, surely. And if what you've been doing for the past 2 years in the Cups and in the league hasn't delivered the goods for you, the competitor in you would want you to get over the line and try something different. Now I've seen us gone to Anfield in years back with teams less equipped than the one we just did and did not lose, right? So now he has a 10 and he has a striker and he goes there and lose. I don't know what that does for his mental. And over these next 5 games that the Waffle Down just pointed out, we will know how he's going to do moving forward. The Ethan thing is problematic for me in this sense. Last year, the kid spent the entire Premier League campaign last year proving that he belonged. That he belongs with the big boys. And he only played 889 minutes. That's less than 10 games. So this year, when he was linked with moves away, when everyone was saying he needs assurances, I'm like, okay, surely assurances were given to him because he signed a new deal. But then I made the statement that I think he's going to play less than he did last year because one, the signing of Eze, what Tony said about his captain, he's not going to drop his captain because he's going to look weak, so he's going to play his captain, and the emergence of Max. So Ethan is going to, and I worry about Ethan because you do not get better at football by not playing football. He needs to play football to develop, and I'm really worried there because he even went to Max in the 89th minute instead of Ethan at Anfield. And someone said to me he was trying to get Max to win a penalty because Max has won a penalty every single time he's came on the pitch. So he was desperate trying to win a pen and threw Max out there. And I just don't know, man. big up to Cooper, big up to Wahaha, big up to all you people in the chat, man. I'm not ignoring the chat. You know, I gotta let DJB get into
Big
it.
up, my friends. Big up the chat. Yeah, every time. Some legends in the chat as always. No, with Ethan, I'm with you. I've been worried about him, and he's been sold a dream. He's going to say, oh, you know, you're going to have more. You're going to play more of a central role, and he's got him to sign an extra contract. But there are very, very similarities to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe was promised this and promised that. He even got an England call up, and then he was kind of down the pecking order, because you mentioned Eze is in front of him, and I've been saying this, Odegaard's in front of him, the emergence of Max Dowman is in front of him, and he shouldn't be, because Ethan is further in his development than Max Dowman. And then if Havertz comes back, he's going to be in front of Ethan. So I fear for Ethan under this football club. I really do. I don't think he's going to get many minutes at all. He might get some Carabao Cup games. He might get in if we're winning sort of 3-4-0 or something like that, with 2-3-0 up cruising, like we were against Leeds. Get thrown on, bit again like Emil Smith Rowe was when it was comfortable and when things were flowing. Yeah, Emil Smith Rowe came on the field to play, but he never took the gamble to start him. This is what gets me. You know, what's been really annoying me under this manager is that he can see with his own eyes that players are not performing. And I include the captain in this, Martinelli. Martinelli was on for over 70 minutes against Liverpool. How is that possible to watch this guy? And people were saying to me, oh, you know, his defensive duties. I never even saw that. So how is this? It was like playing with 10 men. No, seriously. It was like having 10 men on that field. And I'm thinking, if we can see it, and the people who's travelled up to Anfield and can see it, what is this manager looking at that we're missing? What is he trying to prove? So this is what's getting me, and he's done it in countless of games where players are on there and they're just not performing, and he's not being proactive enough. He's not thinking, right, I'm doing the changes early, I'm doing it at half time. This is what I'm going to do. If it comes off, all well and good. If we fail, okay, I understand that. But I think it's really annoying for any fan supporting any football club is to watch players on the field of play not performing and the manager not acting. I think that's the biggest wind-up any football fan can face. And for me, it's frustrating when you've got players on the bench like Ethan and players like that, and you're going, come on, make the sub. Odegaard's stinking the place out, make the sub. And then he does it when someone's injured. Yeah. Really frustrating. Really frustrating. Yeah. So for me, he's got to be more proactive in his substitutions. He's got to gamble more. And it comes down to his in-game management.
Yeah.
Really bad.
There's a thin line between being cautious and being cowardly, right? And I think he is being cautious, but I think he has stepped into the coward's water. You know, there was something there to be had, and he was just too scared to take it. Like, I think most of the fan base, even his strongest defenders, actually said, you know, we needed to be brave in that game. The Liverpool fans were saying we were there to be had. Very, very few games you will keep Mo Salah quiet, Ekitike quiet, Verts, McAllister, Szoboszlai for the most part before the free kick, and lose the game. You know, it was criminal. Saliba out for a month. Yeah, I don't want to see Saliba back. Let's just not rush him back. Let him fully heal. The only consolation is I'd rather get the injuries now and have these guys fully fit for the run-in in April, you know, March, April, May. But it's an ankle. We know what it is. It's not a dubious physical discomfort that they have listed against Benjamin White's name. I'm actually more worried about Benjamin White's injury more than I am Saliba's, because at least I know what Saliba's injury is. We don't know what's wrong with Ben White. You know?
No, and that's the problem with the right back, isn't it? I mean, you know, we've got a lot of left-sided players now. Hincapie, I don't think, is a right back. He's more left-sided. Mosquera, I think, is more central and left-sided. So if Timber goes down, right back suddenly a problem. You know what I mean? So, the Ben White thing. But talking about rushing players back, I heard the other day, apparently Saka might be in the frame for a return against Nottingham Forest. I mean, if that rumour's true, that is just madness. He shouldn't even be anywhere near the bench. He shouldn't be anywhere near the stadium, let alone making that team. But I think that's what you're going to get with Saka now. I think that's Saka's future now. 3 or 4 games, miss 3 or 4 games, play 5 games, miss 3 games. I think it's like another Jack Wilshere, Thomas Rosicky with Saka, which is horrible because that player has got so much talent. But I think the injuries and the amount of games he has played as a young player, because let's face it, he's carried Arsenal football team for like years now. He's carried the whole of the team for years. And I think it's just all going to catch up with him. I really do.
The fact that we even are forced to believe that, the fact that it's even a story and we can't just dismiss it is worrying. You know, because Shane, big up, because Shane's been saying this for time. That he rushed Saka back last year. He rushed Havertz back last year. People forget that Havertz played against Newcastle last year. Before, you know, so he was rushed back. Saka was rushed back. Coincidentally, both of them are injured now. Who knew? Who knew? Big up to LFC Monster say, what will Arteta more? Losing his unbeaten streak against the Big 16? Yeah. So this is what they used to defend him. Against the Big 6, we are this, we're that. And that's gone now. That is absolutely gone. And it's one of the things. Go on.
See, that there, I mean, against the Big 6, but there's more than 6 teams in the Premiership. To win the Premiership, it's not about the Big 6. There's no point having results against the Big 6 if you're rocking up. If West Ham are rocking up at the Emirates and they've taken 6 points from us in the last 2 years at the Emirates.
Yeah.
Fulham, we struggle to beat Fulham at Craven Cottage. We struggle to beat Brighton.
So glad you said that, DJ, because there's this narrative being ran about the other side that's saying, what are you moaning about? That's the hardest game we'll ever have to play this season, and it took a wonder goal to beat us. And I'm like, I disagree. I think Fulham away in a must-win game in April 18th is a much difficult fixture. Now, it's Anfield, and I get it, but it's match week 3. Liverpool were playing without their right back. They haven't really gelled yet, and they didn't even have their main striker in the squad. So it's not the toughest game that we're going to face this season. When we in a must-win game in match week 30-something, I think that's a whole different kettle of fish.
See, the problem is, right, what people realize that they live on what words, and Liverpool on paper is one of the toughest games of the season. Obviously, it's Liverpool. I get that. But every game's tough. Because every game has got something on it. Like we're just talking about the Forest game. That's tough because it's got something on it because we lost at Anfield. We can't afford to drop points against Forest. So Nottingham Forest now becomes tough.
Yeah.
So every game you play in the Premiership, they're all tough because they will always have something on it. You might be going into, say, the West Ham game on the 4th of October, or I think it's 4th, 5th of October, when we play them at the Emirates. We might be going into that game with injuries, or we might be going into that game where we've drawn 1, lost 1, we've lost against Newcastle, we've drawn at home against Man City. So then that game becomes tough. So there's no, when you haven't won trophies and you're going for that big prize, every single game will have something on it. So I don't agree with Liverpool being the toughest game. Because I've seen this team pretty much fold under lesser teams than Liverpool, you know, because, we might raise our game on occasions against Man City and people like that, but then we'll rock up at Fulham or West Ham at home or Brighton away, or we'll just about get. I mean, take it for instance last season, Everton at the Emirates, absolute 0-0 stinker, borefest, awful performance. Everton at the Emirates, 0-0. Then we struggled to put Leicester to bed. Then we struggled to beat Southampton. So, all these games are tough. Seriously.
Yeah, and this is the thing, Ed Worf. This is it. This is what compounds my frustration, that he doesn't seem to learn from his mistakes.
No,
Like, he almost wants to win, but he has to win his way. He has to win with Martinelli on the wings, thinking out the place. He has to win with Odegaard. He has to win, proving that he can get something out of Kai Havertz when everyone else with eyes can see that he is not it. Like, there are no defensive partnerships that lose sleep over Kai Havertz. No, I used to hear interviews with John Terry back in the day. And John Terry is one of the best defenders the Premier League has ever seen. That he used to say, "Boys, we have a long day tomorrow when we're facing Thierry Henry. Long day."
Oh,
no one does
game
that.
for one in the tunnel
About Havertz. Yeah. So he's just not it for me, but he just has to prove his way. Should Mikel adjust his tactics for Martinelli to improve the Ian? Brother, I think Martinelli, that 2022-2023 season, it's the best we'll ever see, and that might have been a one-off. If you give me 4 years of average, and then you peak for 1 year, and then you dip back to your level, then I believe that was just a flash in the pan. I don't think Martinelli, his fundamentals are so poor that a footballer at 24 years old should not be told that you need to lift your head up.
He's not Brazilian. He's not Brazilian. I'm sorry. You don't get a Brazilian running down with your head like that. On Martinelli, though, I do think he's been used as a bit of an scapegoat, and I think you're deflecting the problem away from the manager by keep piling into Martinelli. You got to remember, Martinelli, when he came on the scene under this football manager, Jurgen Klopp was thinking he would have signed him at the drop of a hat.
That's true. I heard,
and suddenly now he's just progressively got worse and worse and worse. This manager has not even tried anything different to try and help Martinelli. I mean, at least give the player the benefit of the doubt and try him elsewhere, or try him more of a central role. And then if he doesn't perform, we can turn around and go, do you know what? He just ain't got it. He just ain't got it. He can't cut it. But he's not even been given that opportunity. And this is the problem I have with this manager. He doesn't try anything different to give players the opportunity to try and reignite their football career. Like Odegaard's been stale now for 2 seasons? But he still plays him in that 10. He still wants him to spin around. He still wants him to, just drift off the right, link up with Saka as much as possible. Won't try anything different. Just try something different. Give him a free run.
Yeah.
Try something else. But he won't play him in an 8. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But he's not willing to do that. He's not willing to do that. But every now and again, he'll put a player in a position because he's forced to, and he might have 2 or 3 games, and suddenly he's a genius. Do you know what I mean? It's just really frustrating. Really frustrating.
Yeah. What did you make of
Martinelli's done?
Yeah, he's done. What did you make of him bringing on Eze and Odegaard at the same time? Do you think that was a deliberate attempt not to
panic stations?
Yeah,
panic stations. Panic stations. He knew he needed to get something out of the game, and he's panicked. If he was serious in taking the game to Liverpool, he'd have started. He'd have started with one of them. I was shocked. For me, it would have been Ethan in the 10, Eze on the left, or Trossard on the left, Eze in the 10, and I would have gone more attack-minded because let's face it, we've got enough defensive qualities to still be attacking.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the likes of Declan Rice and Zubimendi, and you've got Gabriel, and you've got Timber, and the defensive setup. That defensive setup should allow our attacking players to be more free flowing and get on the ball more and attack more.
Yeah,
I don't understand why the whole team throughout the whole 11 have to be so defensive when you've got defensive-sided players that can allow the flared players to play. It just don't make sense to me.
Yeah. Ed is asking if we'd hold off on giving Saka a new contract. Brother, if I'm Saka, I'm holding off on signing it.
100%.
Like if the club offers me, I'm like, let me see where we're going right now, because I'm going into my prime years, and I don't think I should be winless, because you really don't. These players really don't want their name attached to the second. At some point,
they don't want Harry Kane settings, do they?
Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah, you don't want that.
You don't want to get to you don't want to get into your 30s and think, hang on a minute, I still haven't won nothing here.
Right.
You don't want to wake up one night and go, yo, I'm like 32 years of age. I've had all these injuries and I've worked my butt off and I haven't got any medals.
Yeah.
These young players, eventually the penny's going to drop. They're going to think to themselves, hang on a minute, where are we going here? The manager's under pressure. We're getting vibes that the manager's under. Listen, people think players are stupid, right? These players know the importance of this season. They're playing to save the manager's job. They know for a fact that if they don't win anything and perform this season, they know the manager's gone. He's probably gone anyway. Even if he just wins an FA Cup, he's probably gone. Yeah. But the players know this. So when you're signing contracts, you're going to think to yourself, right, how long's the manager going to be here? Who's the next manager going to be? You know?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen with these, because Saliba ain't even signed yet.
Yeah.
I still think Saliba's head will be turned in January, but we'll see.
Yeah. You know what I worry? My biggest worry, DJ, is that we have to sack him while the team is still good enough to win. Because I believe this job opens up, managers around Europe will be tripping themselves over to get this job. Like, you give this defense to a good manager. You give him Declan Rice, Saka, Eze, and Gyökeres. A manager looks at it and be like, I can do something with this. But if we keep him too long, he might do more damage than what will end up happening. The new manager will have to come and do what Top Goon is this thing Arteta is doing right now, which is a whole new rebuild. You know, but I really think, can you imagine this current squad of players with a new manager bounce?
Yeah, I've said this. I've said the longer this manager's in place, the more long-term damage it could do, because the new manager coming in is going to have players with long-term injuries, high wages, and I'm talking about Jesus and people like this, Havertz. You're going to have players that need new contracts. So we're only talking Saka and Saliba, but if this manager stays another year, 2 years, then you're talking Rice's contract, you're talking Timber's contract, you're talking, you know, all of these contracts will eventually need renewing. So that's why I said at the start of this season, we should have wiped the slate clean. We should have said, thank you very much, Mikel. You've got us competing. You've got us sort of finishing in the Champions League on a regular basis. We've had 3 years of finishing runners-up. Thank you very much. Time to move on. New manager comes in, sort all the contracts out, Saliba, Saka. New players come in with all this money under the new sporting director, and let's go. But the problem is we've gone into another year, so we've got more added pressure. We've got players' contracts running down. We've got players in and out of the team with injuries. But yeah, under this current with this squad, a manager would come in and go, well, yo, I've not only got my starting 11. Look who I've got in the wings. I've got like Max Dowman in the wings. I've got Wanyeri. I've got Skelly. I've got all these young players as well. I've got Howe End. I've got a brilliant academy. I mean, Arsenal Football Club at the moment, any manager coming in wouldn't have to do a lot to win trophies.
Right.
Would not have to do a lot to win trophies.
Yeah, I use the Liverpool bunch as the perfect example, because no one can convince me that Jurgen Klopp is a bad manager. The only thing that changed at Liverpool Football Club last year was the voice. That's it. That's the only thing.
He came in, didn't he? Signed Chiesa. That was it. He didn't upset. He took Klopp's philosophy. He tweaked a few things. He said to Salah, I don't want you playing defensive. I want you more dangerous in the final third.
Dang.
Yeah. Other than that, he didn't have to. McAllister, he got McAllister sort of, doing his thing. He didn't change a lot. He didn't have to change a lot. And I agree with you. If the manager came in this season, he wouldn't have had to have changed that much, other than got us more kind of getting the ball into attacking areas a lot quicker.
Yeah. Big up to the assemblers that either the system or our players isn't working. Which is it? I think we have very good players. I just think that the manager doesn't play to their strengths. Really, I really don't think.
Facts.
Just,
it's system and in-game management.
Yeah,
it's system-based with these players.
Yeah, it's too cowardly for me. Too cowardly. Big up to Darren Martin. Darren says system and play style is the problem. All the players are banging for their national teams. Facts. Arteta is the fucking yeah. It was like, I see players enjoy playing football everywhere else. Except I know Eze must have been looking at himself like, damn, Moreno in my spot. Moreno, when I'm fully fit and here to do damage, and he chose Moreno over me. Like, surely he's thinking, yeah, he should have started as and that's probably why he didn't do it, Ian, because it was so obvious. Like this is what I said. Like he thinks he is so smart, right? He thinks he can smell colors. Everyone else will do this. Okay, I'm gonna show you my way. I have to win my way. Martinelli for me is, and that's the thing. When a new manager comes into the squad, he doesn't have any emotional attachment to these players. So Martinelli and the Kai Havertz and the Odegaards, who are his favorites, all of a sudden they may have to raise their game to get back into the squad, which is good for us. This morning Hooks was saying that Arteta's drastically improved Moreno, leading to his hat trick. You see, that's the thing. This is why fans hate us, because I don't see any Barcelona fans screaming their pants over Lamine Yamal's performances for Spain. None. It's only us. It's only the Arsenal fans that will go around the internationals and gas up performance for the national teams when they come back to Arsenal. The shackles are on them again, and we wonder why we can't get the best out of these players.
Oh dear, Moreno has improved because of his hat trick.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, but
system Spain play and the players he had around him makes players like Moreno score, gets him into positions of scoring goals. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, one of the things that people said that Arteta fails at doing is cracking a low block, right? I'm compelled to believe that on Saturday, Forest will give us a problem to solve in the form of a low block. I don't think Martinelli is probably the best option to help us solve a low block. But you think they'll play a low block against us? 2 banks of 5?
Yeah, they'll set up. They'll probably set up with a low block. I say they're pretty good at counter. They're quite good at counter attacking. So again, it's early in the season for Nottingham Forest, so they could come to the Emirates and go, well, actually, if we don't get a result here, it's not going to hurt us too much. We're not expected to win anyway. So they could play with a bit of freedom. They've got some players that can shift. They've got players that are dangerous on the counter. So, yeah, they'll probably set up low block. They'll try and frustrate us. They'll try and hit us on the counter. They'll play a few diagonals as well and long balls and then see what they can pick up from there. Martinelli with a low block. Mid block, low block, whatever block you want to think. I don't want to see Martinelli starting for this football team. I'm sorry. I can't be doing with it. You could, do you know what? If he wants to play Moreno, try Moreno and Gorkewicz. Try 2 up top.
Yeah.
Try and pull their defenders across the line. Try and take their centre halves out. Try and give them, there's 2 players that are worrying now. Me, I'd give Odegaard a free role. I'd put Eze in an attacking role, and I'd go with 2 up top. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I hear it. So how concerned are you with that? Like from a 1 to 10, do you have any concerns about 3 points in that game at all? Because I don't. I know it might sound rich coming from off that shit performance we just put in at Anfield, but at this point in our project, I will not accept anything other than 3 points.
Oh no, free. I mean, any draw at home this season is drastic for Arsenal Football Club because because the stakes are so high. Yeah. We have to win our own games, no matter who we play. Yeah. We've got to make Emirates an absolute fortress, and we've got to win our home games. Yeah. Now, if you've got teams like, I mean, people say, oh yeah, but if we draw against Man City, that's not so bad. Well, it is considering where Man City are now at this stage, and it is the fact that we beat them 5-1 at home last season. So I'd expect them, so a point wouldn't be such a good day out for Arsenal. I I said we'd get 3 points against Nottingham Forest. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I do think we'll beat Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Anything other than a win is just going to be disastrous. And again, it's going to just pile more pressure on this manager and the team.
Yeah.
You imagine Taron, can you imagine the next game if we drop points against Nottingham Forest? Can you imagine?
Season's over. Meltdown. It's complete meltdown.
Oh.
It's complete meltdown. Because then I really believe we'll have to start focusing our attention on the cups. Now, speaking of the cups, AJ is saying what happens when we lose to Port Vale. If we dare. If we dare, AJ.
Oh,
this is sackable. They're a League One side, yeah? League One? I think they're a League One side.
Do you know what? Do you know what? They're going to be enjoying that night.
Yeah, they're
going to be enjoying that night. That's a time, that stadium's quite compact. They're passionate fans, that Port Vale fans, they're down in the Potteries, down that part of the country. They're passionate fans. They like their football club. It's going to be a tough place to go. And when you play these lower league teams, they've got you talk about injuries.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the football in these lower league teams, some of them tackles, it's like going back 5-10 years. They don't care. They're not pulling out.
Yeah.
Now if we've got players that are thinking, oh, hang on a minute, I don't want to get injured. World Cup year, I'm carrying this. I'm not feeling it. It could, they're always potential banana skins. Them. But I can't see it being a problem. But I mean, our next 3 games are vital because, as I said, we've got Forest, then we've got the Champions League, and then we got Man City at home. Port Vale, and then Newcastle away. Yeah. So there's some big games coming up. This could be. I know Carl Walsh, bless up Carl Walsh. He said, last season, it'd be all over by Halloween. I'm telling you now. These next 5 games could really, really see pressure really piled onto this football manager.
Yeah. Yeah, Cooper. I completely I'm with you with this sentiment, bro. Like if you were against Leeds, you weren't fit enough to finish the game. You didn't even try to get to halftime. You left in the 37th minute. You shouldn't have played. You shouldn't even have been in the squad. You're the captain. You have to tough it out against. But yeah, he went off the pitch and then want to come on it. Nah, brother.
Before his injury, he was poor though.
Yeah, he was. So
and Yorkeres made that goal on his own. I don't think Yorkeres has hardly touched the ball since he's been at the football club.
It didn't. And I, oddly enough, because I predicted a 1-0 win solely based on Eze starting, because I knew if he did not start, Yorkeres wouldn't get the ball. And then I watched the game over, I look at the extended highlights and all this stuff, and I saw Martinelli in spaces. I'm just imagining, oh my God, Eze would have done much better there. Much better, because as soon as Eze came on, he showed his quality. But yeah, that Port Vale thing, that AJ put that energy out there. If we drop points this weekend, Mikael might start pocket. Yeah, he better. Surely you can't win the league in September, but you can damn sure lose it. Serious question will be asked, and I think we'll have more than enough to beat Forest. Mandatory 3 points, mandatory, absolute mandatory, man. But as we come up on an hour, we get ready to wrap up, man. I want to thank DJB. I want to thank the chat, absolute legends that you are.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, on a much lighter note, before we wrap up, I usually ask my guests when I get esteemed guests like yourselves on the channel, I usually ask, I'm going to give you 3 names, right? And you can keep one, you bench one, start one, sell one, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 names. Recent though, I'm not going to go back in time. I'm not going to force you to age yourself on public, but
go back as long as you like, mate. You go back as long as you get. The chat knows me. I'm no flip flops here.
Okay.
I stay. I'm a man of my word. I keep it real.
Give you some recent names. So if I get Fabregas, SANTI, RAMSEY.
Ooh, Fabregas. Say it again, Fabregas.
Yeah, CESC, Aaron Ramsey, and Santi Cazorla. You got to start one, sell one, bench one.
Right, I'm selling. Ramsey done brilliant for this football club, but Santi was. I love Santi Cazorla, creativity. I said this on my show yesterday. Santi Cazorla across Europe was probably one of the most underrated players in Europe, in European football. He wasn't so much underrated at Arsenal. The fans loved him. But Ramsey done nuts things. He won FA Cups, and I'm definitely keeping CESC Fabregas, because CESC Fabregas was a craftsman. He was quality. You know, he was 3 or 4 players around CESC Fabregas. That guy would not panic. He would find a space. He would do some sort of madness, even if tackles were flying in. He just the vision he had was just incredible. I'm keeping CESC. Oh,
where are you starting though? You start.
I'm starting CESC. I'm starting CESC.
Okay.
Ramsey, listen, I love Santi. I absolutely love Santi. But for what Ramsey done for this football club and the important goals he scored, I'm benching Ramsey, and I'm selling Santi. Because I could sell Santi for about £120 million, and then I could go and get another CESC off Ramsey. So
he's still playing, you know. He's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing. Good luck to him as well. What a player. What a player. I love them. But that was a tough question to end the show. Man, that was tough. Ramsey, because Ramsey popped up with some he popped up with some vital goals for this football team. And
he did.
We've never really replaced them sort of players, you know. When you think about it, Rice hasn't hit the kind of goals and tally that he should have hit. This is one of the things, right? I know you got to go, Taron, but one of the things that I've said many, many, many times, you look at all the great teams that have won premierships, they've always had lethal, consistent goal scorers from the central midfield position. Frank Lampard's, Steven Gerrard's, Frank Lampard's, you know. We had Ramsey, we had Count Mersons, Rocastles. They was all scoring from midfield roles and midfield positions. We've not really had that. If you look at our central midfield players, they've not really chipped in with high numbers. And this is what I'm saying. You know, you've had goals from Saka, and Odegaard had that season, didn't he? But on a consistent level, you need midfield players to chip in with double figures during the season. And we've not had that. We're too defensive there. And this is why I wanted a Morgan Gibbs-White or a Rodgers or someone like that. I said at the start of the season, this is why I was frustrated when we signed like Norgard and we had Zubimendi, because for me, they were just like for like. I felt this team needed more than that. I thought that they needed that kind of midfield player that just got an eye for goal, you know, that can make things happen. And I still don't think we've got that.
You think Skelly could give us what a Morgan Gibbs-White can in the midfield if we played him there?
I think with the right development, Skelly can. Skelly's not a left back. That is proving me right. I said it from the start. He's not a left back at all. And I would have liked Skelly in midfield as a more attacking role. You know, that for me, I would love that to happen. But under this manager, it's not going to happen. Look at Skelly. How many minutes has he had these last 3 games?
Yeah, he is.
He's another one. He's another one that's going to get bombed out. You're talking Kieran Tierney settings.
Yeah,
he's another one that's going to get bombed out. We've got flared players there, but this manager, for some reason, he's just not interested. Not interested.
Yeah, after the leg break, the assembly, that was a cool one. But for me, I'd have to start CESC just based on ability. Like that guy's passing range at 16 years old was like nothing that I've ever seen. Like he was just,
man, what a player!
What a player!
What a player! And don't be surprised if he don't rock up Arsenal's next manager. I've said this time again. Kenny Ken keeps threatening me every time I say it because he feels bitter the way CESC Fabregas left the club. But one thing you cannot take away from CESC, he was to watch him at the Emirates, to watch him live week in, week out. Incredible. Incredible.
He was an absolute monster. But yeah, man, big up to you. But DJB, sir.
Taryn,
absolute legend, man. Thank you so much.
You're
for
welcome, my friend.
Anytime.
Anytime, my friend. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's been a pleasure talking to you and to the chat.
Yeah.
And 100%, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you want to shout out what you have coming up on the
I think I got Lee Gunner. I think I'm on with Lee Gunner on our Monday show, which is I think around about 6 o'clock. He's not sent the link yet, but we've got our sort of our meet, me, Kenny, Ken, Jez, Southern Gooner. We go on with Lee on a Monday. Got the OG show tonight on Aaron's. What have I got? I've got on my show, I'm doing my midweek mingle, me and Normski, on a Wednesday. And then on a Thursday, I don't think I'll be doing it this Thursday because I'm busy. I didn't realise the following Thursday we do the Thursday chat, me and Aaron, Kenny, Ken, and the Sunday sit back. So this Sunday will be, hopefully, we'll have lots of things to talk about after the Nottingham Forest game. Yeah, it's all good. Arsenal Huddle. If you've subbed, thank you very much. And big up, everyone.
Yeah, people, you heard it there, people. Like I said when I started this stream, this man has forgotten more football than we will ever know. So there's a lot of knowledge.
There's a few years,
you can go over there. Yeah.
Over 50 years supporting the football club and going to games and still going. It's it's hard work, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, but people, DJB was here to give us an hour of his time. So make sure that you are subbed to the DJB Huddle so you can get all that knowledge that we just talked about. Blessed love to the chat. Like I always say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.